Welcome to Beginner's Guide for the map known as Windstorm, if you can have a beginner's guide for this map. It's a big hodgepodge. It's broken up into three areas. The first area is the north, which starts at the river at F1 and follows the river until you get to about C7. Then there's a big splodgy bit in the middle, which we'll highlight for you, and then down south is the place that we call town. Let's deal with each of them in turn. The north. So if you're attacking this area, you're going to be taking mediums, you're going to be taking TDs, you're going to be taking scouts. You're generally not going to be taking great big lumbering slow heavies, although I have seen that done. If you're going to take your TDs and you're attacking from the west, then you're going to find yourself up at the windmill, which is at about E3, or you're going to push on to A3. You're going to meet some mediums there that are angry you're taking their spot. Mediums are pushing up, trying to get to places like B5, and everyone is looking for an excuse to go down the river run, which is around about the C line, C3 to C8, going backwards and forwards on there. There's a lot of skirmish fighting. If you're attacking from the east, where you get TDs are up at A7, that's not too bad. They're also at B8, although I don't think it's as good a spot. So that's the north. It's a skirmish fight. It'll be over about halfway through the game. The middle section, the wasteland, well, TDs will find their way up to the church area at D8 if they're attacking from the east. They'll also crawl around to D7, although D7 is not that strong. You will see mediums at D7 as well, but then they're forced to pick a route. Are they trying to guard the north? Are they trying to guard the wasteland? If you want to commit, then you can move around to a little dint you find at D6. Make sure you've taken friends with you. There's some rocks at E5, E6 that people fight around, and there's a clump of buildings at F6 that people get lost in. It's all pretty mushy roundabout there. If you're attacking from the west, E4 is not bad because that allows you to give support fire if you lose the north and also sneak around the corner. You also sometimes see TDs around about F5, and they're basically shooting down that road and shooting into the rubbly buildings that you find down there. Town is where it's all happening. That's where the heavies are going. It's where turreted TD should go. Not sure you should take ones that have got a fixed gun. And it's all about bridges. So if you're on the west side of the map, there's a TD spot. It's quite nice up at J4. It's on a hill. It's a bit defensive. You're sort of expecting you're going to lose. You can take a couple of shots there, but be careful of RT counterfire. There's a very aggressive one you can get down to at K6. K6 has got some corners to sit on, it's got some containers to hide behind. It also has a secret way across the river, which is at J8, where you don't need to use the bridges, you can sneak across and come up the other side. If you're going to do that, gun depression, my friends, or you're going to get murdered. Guarding the bridges, H6, J6, K6, it's all about bridges, make sure you remember Arnhem. If you're on the east side of the map, you're charging in, and it's pretty much the reverse. You can get all the way down to J8, J9. There's actually an indestructible house there that you can hide behind and do some covering fire. But you're also looking for bridges. On this side of the map, you've got some little nooks and crannies that you can hide behind. Use some good side scraping. Do side scraping on both sides, to be fair. Somebody sooner or later has to take the bridges and charge across. If you're going to do it in force, and preferably do it on more than one bridge. It's always a good idea. If you're going to commit and win. Otherwise, you're going to get torn to pieces. Oh, and by the way, if they're coming at you with speed, back off. It doesn't matter which side you're on, just pull back and give yourself some room. Artillery, where should you be going? Not a great map for you, to be fair. C0's not bad. B9, I guess, is a little hidey hole that you find a lot of people go to around about B9, A9. If you're over on the west side of the map, you often see artillery at G1. They can find their way to E2. I have seen them at H3. God knows what they're doing there. Oh, quick bit about capping on this map. Both of the bases have little bits of cover. I prefer the cover on the west side. There's a little rock you can hide behind. It can be very irritating if you can get a fast-moving scout there. So Windstorm, if you're in the north, it's about fast-moving. It's about close-quarter combat. It's about mobility. It's about gun depression. If you're in the wasteland in the middle, well, you better win or hold it. And really, it's about the brutish fight for the bridges that you're going to get down south. Be coordinated, look at the map, check your team complements, figure out what you're strong at, hold your ground, push when you have to. Windstorm, it's complicated.